Is that a 356? Oh my God! Woo! Hello and welcome to another episode of Sheriff's Garage. What a beautiful day and what a beautiful car to feature today in the channel. 1964 Porsche 356C. This gorgeous car was, as we mentioned, produced in 1964, but it replaced the 356B in that year, and the differences between two cars were very subtle. The engine power changed in this car from 60 horsepower in 356B jumped to 75 horsepower. Holy cow, who's gonna tolerate that much of horsepower? 15 extra horsepower, but this car is such a beautiful driving experience, and some other cool features that they changed, and we're going to go over the details of them. They changed the brakes to disc brakes, and in all four corners, and very subtle, like the subtle differences, such as the hubcap has the Porsche crest, and in 356B they didn't have it. It was just as a plain hubcap essentially, and round mirrors were standard on this car. The iconic shape of the front headlights that literally put the whole Porsche design in the map of car history. And this car also came in Roadster version and Speedster version. Very similar to the new generations of the Porsches. The front is a Frank and the engine is in the rear. It's a 4-cylinder engine with dual ignition and Webers. It's such a fun, pure and realistic way of driving this car. When we take it for a drive, you'll see that this car, you can't be in rush. Things are slowed down, but there's such a pleasure. It's so realistic that when you drive it, you get such a kick out of it. In the silhouette view of this car, when you look at the wheelbase, it's very short, obviously, and it's such a small car. It doesn't take a lot of space for this car to be parked, or especially the interior is so small that when two people sit, it feels like the shoulders even touch. But the very cool feature of this body design is the wheels are literally inside the fender, and the fender line is outside of the wheel, as you see here, and it goes all the way back to the rear portion of the car, and the beautiful iconic shape of the Carrera is here. And the front bumpers are steel, beautifully preserved. The owner of this car is a true car person. He's a gem, and he really takes care of his cars, especially some of the classics that he has in his collection. The fuel cap is right here on the right side of the fender, just like the modern Porsches. A lot of similarity in the design language of the Porsche. That's why it's very iconic. They just made it better and better every year with just a few tweaks and subtle changes. The windshield is very small, two tiny, literally very tiny, to the width of my hand. The wiper blades are very small, and then back seats are just like modern Porsches. I don't think they're usable for adults. And when you open and close the door of these classic cars, there's such a characteristics behind the noise that they get closed. Just listen to it. It closes with authority, and everything is so solid and beautifully designed. Love it, love it. It's so gorgeous. Here in the side of the window, we have this little triangle that swivels out, and you get fresh air inside the vehicle. This particular model doesn't have a sunroof. Some of them do. This one obviously doesn't. And the majority of the ones that have sunroof are, I believe, electronic sunroof, which is amazing for 1964. For example, my 1987 BMW, it's a hand crank one, but even in 1964, Porsche designed the electronic version of the sunroof. So looking at the front of the vehicle, very tiny space, but they have the spare tire. The battery sits in the front on the bottom portion of the panel, very down below actually, and such a cute design. Very iconic, very beautiful. Everything is real metal, as you can hear. It's truly a very heavy material that they've been using back then. But as you see, everything is so solid and preserved beautifully. So as you see, this beautiful four-cylinder engine sits in the back, just like any other Porsches in this platform. And such a small engine, it's like a motorcycle engine, about 1600 cc, 75 horsepower, carbureted. As you see, there is one here. There's one here. It's a dual Weber system. Not that I would ever allow myself to touch this beautiful design masterpiece here. But it's such a simple engine to even look and understand the functionality of every piece that is back here. Very, very gorgeous. Again, a solid metal rear bumper with chrome lining, and these beautifully motorcyclish type of tail lights, which is absolutely gorgeous. And this piece is also very heavy, even though it's very little. And this car, being an air-cooled car, so much fun to drive. There is a difference the way this car even operates compared to the normal cars of the water-cooled version. As long as you keep the oil temperature solid, you won't have any issue with this car. And just like any other European cars, it's good to let it warm up, let the fluids warm up, and then start driving it. You won't have any issue with the seals or anything like that. Just look at the condition of the door cards. It's just amazing. Pure Italian leather, I would say. So beautiful. And hand crank window, yay. Dad, how do we use this thing? I don't know. Just like that. But if you look at the interior from this angle, I want to show you that how simple everything was back then. the gear lever, and very tiny steering wheel with red Porsche seat belts, and similar to airline seats, you know, you have those flap kind of buckles that you pull up and release, that kind of thing. And everything is so meticulously designed, and the materials that they have used, even back then in 1964, solid materials. When you hold on to that steering wheel, you feel confident. It's amazing that Porsches can transfer such a feeling to the driver. Only two cars in the automotive lineup give me such a feeling. One is BMW and one is Porsches. Every time I drive them, they transfer the feeling of the vehicle to me as the driver. And Porsche by far is, I think, number one in that level. They're just masters of designing that feature. I would say BMW is next, and that's just my personal opinion. All right, let's take the car for a drive, and we're gonna do launch control on this car. We're gonna do 0 to 60 in the drag strip here. We're gonna do drift, because the pedal and the brake and the clutch are the gas pedal and everything is so close to each other, you can easily heel and toe. And I hope we don't get a ticket with this car today. I forgot to bring my helmets, but let's go ahead and do it. How could you drive this car and not smile? When I drive fast cars, I'm always laughing, but this car, everything is delayed. It's like you go online and it says, please wait, I'm gonna get to that speed for you, I'm gonna get there eventually. Oh my god, this car is so much fun. Just listen to that, to the Weber's sound. Oh god, that's awesome. Oh, the steering wheel is so tiny. Oh my god. Beautiful. Hello, Ranch. Wow, such a great experience. This is what driving is all about. There's no infotainment system here. There's no navigation system here. It's manual transmission. I feel involved with the car. I feel everything that is happening in front of me, in the back. All my focus is on my driving and enjoying the scenery and the functionality and the mechanics of the car. Oh god, this is so cool. 1964. Wow, that's such an amazing car. Let's go for I'm gonna pull 2 G's for you. Is cool. So much fun. The brakes are they give me a feeling of carbon ceramic type of brakes. I feel like they need to be warmed up before they bite better. But you don't speed with this car, obviously. You just go maybe 60, 65 miles. It's capable of going into the freeway easily and go 80, 90 miles an hour. I have no doubt that this car is capable of doing that, just because first of all, 4-cylinder engine, 75 horsepower, 1,800 pounds worth of the weight for the car. It's awesome. Third gear. It's going. Come on, baby. You can do this. Stretch. Come on now. Awesome. Wow, this is such a great experience. I am such a lucky guy to be able to drive these amazing cars. Fourth gear. We're gonna go to 8 in just a moment. There's no more than 4. All right. 50 miles an hour around the chicane. All right, let's do this. Oh, this is great. I'm just joking. Such a lovely car. And listen to the horn. It's so iconic. Everything is hand cranked. Everything is manual. 3 roundels in the front. Still iconic. Dr. Porsche's design with the key on the left side, the radio, the clock, and there's a cigarette lighter. This is the wiper blade, headlights. I mean, everything's simple, but very solid. Very solid. This tachometer is making a little bit of a noise. If you hear that rattling, is as a result of that, but nothing else is making any noise or craziness going on here. This is so beautiful. English-made cars called Paycon and French Renault 5 Turbo, and the Paycon that I talked about is the same company as Hillman, and just amazing. Guys, this is a small car. It's so tiny. Do you want to know how tiny it is and how close I am to my videographer? Look. It's right there. You can't get away. You just take your dates with this car out, and whether you want or not, you're gonna kiss each other and enjoy the drive. Lovely. Lovely. Right now we're pulling 1.5 G's. I've never driven 40 miles in this in this area. It's so much fun. It's the best 40 miles an hour that I've driven so far in my life. Oh, thanks, special thanks to the owner who allowed me to drive this car. Such a nice guy, such a dear friend, and such a gem. I'm so lucky to have amazing friends here in Arizona who are pretty much car lovers like me, and they all have a great collection of cars. Thank you, God. Thank you for such an opportunity. This is amazing. I'm going 45 miles an hour in a 45 mile zone. Perfect. And I'm not speeding. but I'm driving a Porsche. Alright, let me give you a final impression of this car. When you drive a 1964 Porsche, when you go back so many years, everything is analog, everything is so pure, simple. There's literally no craziness going on. There's no clutter of buttons and screens or anything that confuses you. Oh my god, what am I gonna do with this button or that? There's no airbag here. Your prayers are your airbag. and again, everything is so simple. Your focus is on driving. The gears are tall, therefore you can enjoy the moment of revving and getting to that speed of desired speed that you're looking for. And right now on 4th gear, the engine is so relaxed. RPM is about 1700. Temperature is perfect. We haven't had a single spike of a temperature today. This is the true air-cooled experience that I have driven in my entire life. I had never driven an air-cooled car before, and this is my first time. And now I understand why pure Porsche fans or pure Porsche owners, they swear about air-cooled cars, especially Porsches, and how fanatic they are in regards with their Porsches. Now I understand their feeling. Such an amazing car. Wow. This is beautiful. I want to thank every one of you for tuning in to Sherrod's Garage, and let me know how I'm doing with the videos, and if you have a suggestion of what kind of car you would like me to drive, please make a note, comment down below, and hit that thumbs up, thumbs button for me, as it will help the algorithm. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate all of your support. This has been an amazing journey so far. I have learned so much about cars that I have reviewed. I have enjoyed them every moment, and the passion keeps on growing, and I feel like a child that is in a toy store every time I drive these cars. Amazing. I want to thank all of you for tuning into the channel. Thank you so much, and for your support. And until next time, have a wonderful day. I'll see you. Let's go!